Hey everyone, this is Shawn recording for Hipsters of the Coast. I do the Ensnaring Cambridge column, and I'm doing an Vintage Masters draft. One, because this format is awesome. It's like seriously one of the best formats, best limited formats I've played. And two, because you have the possibility of opening power and all sorts of crazy stuff, and that's pretty sweet. So in this pack, cards I like are Deep Analysis, because I love drawing cards. Cloud of Fairies might be okay, it might be like a Storm card. Symbiotic Worm is pretty expensive. I think the card I'm going to take is Parallax Wave. I think this card is just really powerful. Does all sorts of really cool stuff. So if I wasn't going to take Parallax Wave, I'd probably take Deep Analysis. And if Deep Analysis wasn't here, I'd go really deep and take this Goblin General, because I think drafting goblins is pretty fun. So with Parallax Wave, we kind of want to prioritize taking cards that have into the battlefield effects. It's also just good as a pseudo removal spell. Wow. All right. So this pack is pretty stacked. So we have Arrogant Worm, good in Green Blue Madness, and just a pretty solid card. Roar of the Worm, also good in Green Blue Madness. Breath of Life, I'm not actually sure how good this is. Afterlife is pretty solid removal spell in white. Armadillo Cloak, pretty insane green-white card. I really don't know what to pick here. We're definitely going to be sending a green signal, kind of regardless of what we take. I'm tempted to take Roar of the Worm here. But Afterlife is a solid removal spell, and it keeps us just in white. So, I'm going to take the Afterlife, just because, it's not certain we're going to be in green. It seems like green is coming. But that pack was pretty silly. It had a lot of really good green cards. So, all right, in this pack, if we want to stay the course for white, we got Benalis Trapper and Jareth. I have to imagine this card is pretty good. Gains protection from a color of your choice for just a single white, so it's pretty hard to kill in this format. 6 is a reasonable amount, but I don't think I can resist passing it. I don't think I can pass it. So that's what we're gonna do. Got a nice little white brew here. All right, so here, so kind of late Deep Analysis. You have my Elder, so the green's definitely coming, and I feel like I probably should have, in the second pack, maybe taken Roar of the Worm or Armadillo Cloak. We also have Exile, which is very good. It's probably the best white removal spell. Afterlife is good as well, but the fact that you get to gain life equal to its toughness is it's a pretty big game. So here, like I said, it's between Exile, you have my Elder. Noble Templar might be a consideration, but I think we can probably get those later. I'm kind of interested in just staying the course, taking white cards. We have seen a pretty healthy amount of green, and the green cards just keep on coming. An interesting possibility, though, is that most of these cards are kind of more controlling white cards. It doesn't necessarily lend itself to the weenie archetype. So we could kind of try to hedge here, and we could start taking red cards in hopes that we get an Astral Slide or a Lightning Rift, because that deck seems awesome and I haven't drafted it yet. Or we could just, keep sending good signals and passing green cards. So for this pack, it's either Finehorn Elves, Secluded Steppe, or Goblin Settler. And you know what? I want to take the Goblin Settler. This is because we have the Parallax Wave, so it's kind of a cool into the battlefield effect that we can reuse. Here, we could take Radiance Judgment. It's a pretty reasonable card, and it cycles. We take Seal Cleansing for the sideboard. I still don't think you want to play it main. This doesn't really look like a Goblin Matron deck, though it does get Goblin Settler. I think here I'm going to take the Solar Blast. Solar Blast is a pretty solid removal spell. Alright, so what do we have here? We have Forgotten Cave. If we're... I mean, at this point, we don't have a ton of cyclers, so if we want to get into... there are a couple problems with the possibility of being in Slide or Lightning Rift decks, is that we don't have... There's no guarantee that we're going to open one. So that's certainly a thing. Here it's either Afterlife or Forgotten Cave, and I'm not sure which one. I'm not sure how many Afterlives you want. Forgotten Cave you can probably get later. I'm going to take the Forgotten Cave here. I'm not sure if that's the correct pick, but it's what we're going to do. Alright, here we have either Phantom Nomad or Spark Spray. I like Spark Spray. It's, you know, conditional removal, but it's the fact that it cycles is pretty sweet. Phantom Nomad, for the record, is like my favorite card of all time. It's like one of the cards that got me into Magic. The interaction between it and like pump effects. So with Ghostly Wings, the fact that it never dies, or I mean, it dies to plenty of things, but it doesn't die in combat. Yeah, we'll take the Spark Spray though. It's worth noting that we're hedging really hard. All right, trying to think of cards we don't really want to play against here. I mean, if we get some white flyers, Claws of Wirewood might be difficult. Tribute to the Wild would be good against us if we actually do pick up in Astral Slide or Lightning Rift. We'll take this. It's not a real thing. All right, so here we can either take Spark Spray, Radiance Judgment, or Breath of Life, or Forgotten Cave. I didn't see that either. I think we're gonna take Radiance Judgment though. I like the fact that it cycles and seems like it's pretty sweet against the green decks. All right, so here we can take either Aftershock, Gilded Light, or the Seal of Cleansing for the sideboard. I haven't actually played with Aftershock very much. I think it's interesting because it's, you know, a red removal spell for creatures that doesn't burn them. We'll take it. We have a lot of removal so far, so I don't think that I want to play Wall of Diffusion or Skirk Prospect or any of these cards. Corson Vorian I think is the best of them, so I'll take that. I'll take the Jungle Worm. Seal Cleansing for the sideboard. I'm going to hide it though. We'll get a last pick of Lurking Evil. Yeah, so it's possible in this pack that I should be green X because a lot of really good green cards were passed to me. But at the same time, I feel good about our white cards, and our red cards are on theme as long as we end up getting an Astral Slide or Lightning Rift. All right, so here for our red-white deck, our red-white control deck, it's either Chartooth Cougar or Kindle, I think. Kindle obviously gets better in multiples. We haven't seen any yet, but it's just fine as just a regular removal spell. Chartooth Cougar, though, we have 2 creatures right now, and it does cycle, which is something that, you know, for us to consider. This is interesting. I'm going to take the Kindle. It's a little bit cheaper. I do have to prioritize taking creatures at some point. Maybe something like Beetleback Chief. Could be good. Other options here are Nevinral's Disc. Nev's Disc is obviously pretty sweet, and we have a controlling kind of build. Not a lot of permanence here. So it definitely wouldn't be bad in our deck. I mean, so cards that we would want to take are Noble Templar, Beetleback Chief, Nev's Disc. I'm not sure if we'd want to splash for Prophetic Bolt, but Prophetic Bolt is pretty sweet. Um, we have a lot of removal, but at the same time, we don't have a lot of creatures or artifacts or enchantments, so it doesn't really affect us that much right now. We're so short on creatures, though. I want to take the Beetleback Chief. I'm not sure if this is a correct pick or not, but we're gonna do it. All right, here we have in our colors or cards that we'd want to play. I actually need to see what City in a Bottle does. Whenever a non-token permanent originally printed in the Arabian Nights expansion, other than City in a Bottle, is on the battlefield, its controller sacrifices it. Well, that's pretty silly. I I have a reasonable knowledge of Magic, but I'm not sure if I could. I mean, obviously this is not main deckable, and I can't think of a situation where our opponent would have like just a ton of Arabian Nights cards. It's a really weird reprint. It's mythic too, right? It looks mythic. All right. So here we can take Goblin Commando, Karvik's Torch, or Mist Moon Griffin. Karvik's Torch is too good. I mean, at some point we need to start taking creatures, but I'm not quite there yet. Here I think we want Renewed Faith. It's gonna really suck if we don't open a Lightning Rift or an Astral Slide. Like I said, we're hedging really hard. Rites of Initiation is really, really good in this format, though. There's the Battle Screech decks and the Goblin decks, and they will just like kill you out of nowhere with Rites. So it's definitely worth noting that that's in the pack. I could take Skurg Drill Sergeant just to like fill up the curve or whatever, and we do have 2 goblins so far, but I just don't think that's what we want to do. It also seems like there hasn't been a lot of white this pack, which is strange because we really didn't pass any white cards the previous pack that I can think of. We're going to take the Renewed Faith, though. There's an argument for Rites of Initiation, but we're doing it. Alright, what does Spirit Mirror do? If there are no reflection tokens on the battlefield, put a 2/2 white reflection creature token on the battlefield. Alright, we're going to try taking the Spirit Mirror, and I'm going to pause this quickly. Alright, we're back. So in this pack, I think we want Taros Faithful or Flowstone Hellion. But I think we're going to take Taros Faithful here. It's kind of a control-y deck. In this pack, we can either take Forgotten Cave, Siddharja. I don't even know what this card does. Whenever it attacks, tap target creature defending player controls that is flanking. It's an interesting card. It seems like it would be okay in our deck. Keldon Necropolis, though, is one of those cards that's glacially slow, but I think is really, really powerful. So I think we're going to take it here. It's also worth noting we don't have a ton of cycling cards, so we do need to do something about that. Here, we either take Spark Spray or Renewed Faith and kind of wince as we pass this Roar of the Worm. I'm not sure what's going on with the green in this draft, so it's probably the color to be in, but alright. I think we will take this Spark Spray, though. I'm not sure if it's better than Renewed Faith, but it seems like a possibility. This pack, I think Chartooth Cougar is basically the only card that we can take, and then see a bunch of Stone Nothing. I'm trying to think of what the best card against us would be. I'll take the Rescind. We've just been passing green cards this entire draft, so may as well continue that. Here we can either take Devout Witness or Breath of Life. I don't think Brilliant Halo is a consideration. Breath of Life is interesting with stuff like Chartooth Cougar, sort of. We can cycle it and then get it back. We'll take it. I'm not sure if that interaction is powerful enough, But maybe if we got a lot more cycling guys, like some Noble Templars and whatnot, then that might be a reasonable choice. We'll take the Tyrant's choice here. I don't know. I'm just kind of hating some cards. Yeah, I don't. Alright, we're not gonna play Orcish Lumberjack. And I don't really care that much about Temporal Fissure. We'll take a Last Pick Gilded Light. I mean, it could end up in our deck, so. I was thinking a little bit about taking a Scrivener earlier because of the interaction with Astral Slide. The Astral Slide we don't have yet. Alright, so this pack seems pretty silly. We have Burning of Zinyi, which is a wildfire. And this could be a wildfire deck. We currently don't have a lot of things that survive. But I mean, the fact that it's kind of a wrath, and and then it works a little bit with Parallax Wave. It's pretty cool, and it doesn't kill Jared, obviously. Masticore is obviously, I mean, Masticore is an insane card. So, yeah, I have no idea. I think Masticore is the better pick, but I really just want to take this Wildfire and really just go big. Imagine casting a Wildfire and then, all right, then I'm gonna take it. All right. So, like I said, it's this pack to get an Astral Slide or Lightning Rift or bust. Here we could take Gustral Carrier, Goblin Matron. I wonder if this foil Hymn to Torek is worth any tickets. Probably isn't. We could take a Secluded Step as another cycler. See lots of other good green cards, Gigapede, Basking Rootwalla. I think we're just so short on creatures. We just need basically anything just to fill in here. All right, this is Savannah here. I think Savannah is not worth very many tickets. We can look this up though. It's gonna be pretty embarrassing if I cannot spell Savannah correctly. All right, so selling, buying. Savannah. Wow, alright, I'm not really sure what just happened there. Am I just really bad at finding it? Savannah, this person's selling it for 10 tickets. It's probably not worth that much, but in a draft like this, I don't think I can afford to not take it. It's another Armadillo Cloak, further proof that we should have been a green-white Basking Rootwalla. If the Savannah wasn't here, we'd probably take Phantom Nomad, but it's not. It's not even really great in our deck. Here, I mean, we're going to take Chain Lightning, Benalis Trapper, Afterlife, Spark Spray. Chain Lightning is the best card, obviously. We just have, like, an insane amount of removal, though, and not really very much else. But Benalis Trapper is basically just a removal spell as well. So, I mean, we take the Emissary, but, Emissary is not entirely the one either. We're going to take the Chain Lightning. Alright. This is not the worst. We'll get another Chartooth Cougar, which is a card that this deck wants. Passe Fires of Yavimaya, and, yeah, like I said, we came up with a plan, but it definitely does not seem like the best plan, especially when we're just about out of picks to find an Astral Slide. So here we'll take the Miss Moon Griffin. It's fine, and it's a creature. That's what we need to do. So here. There's basically nothing for us. I want to see if Gamble's worth any tickets. That seems like a thing we might want to do. Selling for 3 tickets, buying for .176. Like, who sells their cards at, yeah, I'll take .17 tickets. A deck fade, yeah, I'll take 3 tickets for that. It's silly. I should hate the brain freeze. I don't know. We'll take the gamble. All right, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna happen for us. The Lightning Rift or Astral Slide. Here's either Mist Moon Griffin or Goblin Commando. I'm tempted to take. What am I tempted to take? Yeah, I really have no idea. It's definitely one of these 2 cards. We might get another Matron to go around, but I think we'll just take the Mist Moon Griffin. It costs a little bit less, so that's basically my consideration here. I think we don't really want to play Benevolent Bodyguard in this deck. I think we'll just hate the Animate Dead. Prevent other people from having fun. None of these cards are great against me. I'm going to take the Famine, I guess. I can't... Filtering Horde is such a strange card. Because, most players, as they should, have an aversion to discarding a card at random. Especially when it's, you just get 1 more power. If there's a 5/5 trample, it almost makes a difference. I mean, I want to take it here. I don't think I'm going to play it. I don't think I'm going to play Wall of Diffusion either. I don't even know what this card does. Sure. Again, not gonna play any of these cards. I'll take the Mountain Valley. So yeah. Excuse me. It's a pretty interesting draft. I don't think that our deck is... Alright, well, let's see what we're going to play. We're going to play this Chain Lightning for sure. We're not going to play this Gamble or these Zorkish Lumberjacks. We might play these Spark Sprays, so we'll put it over here in kind of the maybe land. We will play the Kindle, even as a bad shock. Play the Settler, the Solar Blast, Aftershock, Chief. Put this in the maybe pile. We want both Cougars, Zinni, Carvex Torch. We'll put the Afterlife in, the Exile. Possibly. Like, all these cycling cards just got a lot worse now that we didn't get the cycling enablers or whatever. Spirit Mirror is really interesting, though. I mean, it's basically just a 2/2, but in a deck where we have so few creatures, like, I think that I want to play it. Alright, so we have 19 cards and 9 creatures. We'll do sort by converted mana cost. We'll kind of do this little sort over here. Yeah, our deck seems not the worst. I mean, it's very clearly a red-white control deck. I mean, it has that plan. We will put this Kelvin Necropolis as well. Alright. So I think we'll take the Renewed Faith. I think we'll play this Renewed Faith. Well, alright. Put in both these Spark Sprays. Renewed Faith. You pretty much just always cycle Renewed Faith. There have been very few times in my life where I have cast it to gain 6 life. As a big fan of playing the red-white slide decks, or the green-white slide decks back when they were in Standard. Alright. And it's either we can play Radiance Judgment or Breath of Life, and then, or we can play 18 lands. And I just don't think that's what we want to do. I mean, our deck is definitely leaning towards being land heavy or whatever, but yeah, I just don't think that's gonna. That's what we want to do. It's what was I gonna say? Spirit Mirror is also kind of cool with Burning of Zinyu, because it means that at least we get a 2/2 out of the deal. So, um, okay. I'm thinking about Breath of Life here because Breath of Life gets back our cards with Into the Battlefield effects, which is interesting. It gets back Jareth if he dies for some reason. We're able to get Chartooth Cougar reasonably early if we Mountain Cycle it. But I kind of think Radiant's Judgment is just going to be better in this deck. It doesn't affect most of the cards that we have. And yeah, I think that's just what we want to do. Okay. In terms of lands, we definitely want this Keldon Necropolis and this Forgotten Cave. And then the rest. Here, let's piles by color. What do you suggest? Suggest seven mountains and 8 plains. It is kind of interesting. This is a red source, so if we went about it this way, we'd have 8 red sources and 8 white sources. Generally, these aren't the kind of decks that I like building. I like having like a 10-7 mana base and having one color be a little bit more dominant than the other. But I mean, we have basically the same amount of cards. We have one more red card. It seems like we might need red earlier. We don't really need access to white until turn 3. And red, we might want to be cycling our Spark Sprays early, depending on the matchup. Yeah, I think this is fine. Yeah, we'll try this. Like I said, I think we made the best of the draft after we had kind of decided on not playing green. I think that the better play would have been to just take the green cards, take what's being passed to you, and all right. I'm trying to think of anything that might be relevant. We have the Guild of the Light in case we go against a Storm matchup, but yeah. All right.